go.
Hey guys, welcome to another board game night with the Doom's Dark Side crew. We have with us Mick.
Hello.
And Dee. And Martin's behind the camera this time. And obviously I'm here, Jason. We're playing Five Tribes by Bruno Cathala and Days of Wonder. We've now just joined up with, was it Asmodee?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Which is exciting. There's lots of good games coming from both of them, hopefully.
I thought it was interesting at Gen Con he made a game for both those companies, Abyss and this. Anyway, so we're playing Five Tribes. Morton and I have played this already. Dee and Mick are new to this, so it'll be interesting to see in the verdict later how they think of it as a new game and how we think of it as games that we've played already. If you're unfamiliar with the game mechanics, it's really simple, but it's a very thinky game. You're basically taking meeples from one tile and then dropping them off to get the same colour in one area.
That's like a good first move.
Yeah, and then retrieving the meeples, and they each do a different thing. So, for example, these white ones provide you with ability to buy gins and give you victory points at the end of the game.
They are like elders, and the yellow ones are viziers, blue ones are builders, red ones are assassins, and green ones are merchants, I think. Yeah. And these are supposed to be like different oases or something like that, I think. And we're basically, we've come into this land to try and bring some kind of semblance of order or something in and control it, or I don't know, I can't remember.
The king has died, hasn't he? And
something like that, yeah. And it's a bit of a loose theme, I suppose, but it's more of a kind of spatial game, really, because you're trying to engineer good moves without giving it to other people and whatnot.
So a few more things going on. You've got to buy your turn order, and you can buy some gins to help you. They score victory points.
Different things they can do.
Yeah, there's a lot of gins. I haven't even read through them all.
You've got merchandise, including the ever popular slaves, and down here it tells you how rare the merchandise is as well. So
he says ever popular, by the way. I think that's quite controversial to say. I can't say it really bothers me. Slavery happened, that's it, deal with it. But
and there we go. So what we'll do is we'll come halfway through the game, and we'll do a turn so you can see how the turn sequence works, and then we'll tell you how we thought about the game at the end. All right, let's go. So we're roughly halfway, maybe a little under halfway through the game. Give you the state of the game so far. This is the board. We've mopped up most of the meeples. I've got a gin, a guy that you can spend a white worker or a slave when you do an assassination to kill 2 of the same meeple rather than 1.
And more importantly, it's worth 8 victory points.
Yeah, and you can see I've got quite a lot of viziers, one elder and 1 slave. I've got 1 territory on the board so far with the 2 palm trees.
But it is worth quite a lot. It's 14 points. Each palm tree is worth 3. So he's got 2 on there. And 8 VPs for that, which is not bad.
Mick has got 4 merchandise cards and a gin. The gin allows him to put a camel on any area that only has meeples. So he puts it up in the
claimed that one. Delicious. 15 points.
Well, we believe that's a one-off ability only. Over to D. D's got no gins. He's got 1 card, which I think is a slave, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
I'm not telling you.
He's got a couple of viziers and a few elders,
2.
But he's done quite
viziers.
well on the board, I think. You pink
really
on you.
Yeah.
You've got 2 there, and he's got a few of the cities on them.
Well, each one of those is 5 extra points as well.
20, 25
so he's got 25 points there, yeah.
And Martin, he's going merchandise.
Well, I've got a couple of territories. I've got that one there. Some moderate point scores on the board.
All of the markets, by the way.
Yes, because I've got quite a lot of these as well.
So,
for information, by the way, in case you don't know, we each have these are control markers. We've each got 8 of those.
Or racing snails.
And or racing snails. They're camels, quite clearly. Anyway, the game ends when someone's placed their last one of those, or there are no legal moves left on the board. So that's that. Right, anyway, we're going to do a live turn now.
We will warn you, it might get a bit slow.
Yeah, this is an AP game, I think, to be fair. Very simple, but there's lots of umming and ahhing. So that's the turn order from last turn, basically, and that also represents the bidding order for this turn. So I'm the black, and so I get to bid first. And I'm going to pay 3 coins. So down here, 1, 2, and 3.
Money is secret because money is victory points.
Indeed. So I've gone on that 3 space. That means no one else can go on that 3 space. So if someone wants to go before me, they've got to pay 5 plus. Or if they don't care and go after me, they pay 1 or less. So
Nick,
mix orange,
I'm going 1 coin.
So there's the coin.
I'm going to go 5.
Oh. So, down to me now. I can either go last and pay 0, or I can go first and pay 8.
8's where it starts getting a
8
bit
is 8
steep.
victory
Yeah.
points to do so.
I think I'm gonna just go last. It stings, but which means also it constantly keeps me last unless I want to pay.
Yeah, but you can't perpetuate going first though, because it costs. Obviously, the person. So next turn, D's bid first. He'll get to bid first next turn, but you can't constantly keep bidding first because you'll whittle down your cash,
And victory points.
which are indeed victory points. But also, I mean, running out of cash is quite bad because you have to go further and further last. So anyway, right. So here we are. D's turn.
Right. I'm going to take these squares, so we take all the guys off. You start placing them down, so I'm going to put...
It recommends you put them sideways, by the way, so you can see where you're going. I hate you, by the way, D.
In case you want to change your mind.
That. And that. So then, because the green guy was the last one I put down, you then take all of the corresponding colour, because he has to be in the square with someone of the same colour. And then you pick all the ones of that colour up, so I pick up all the green guys. And the first thing you do at that stage
check
is
for control.
Check for control. So that is if you have picked everything off of the square. So if there was only green on that square, I would now control that. Still loads left, so I don't control it. Then you do the tribes action. So I've got the 3 guys which are the merchants. So you put the merchants back in the bag and draw that many resource cards.
Starting from the front. So this is the number 1 going right down here. So he gets some fish and 2 slaves.
Then
you get to
do
activate
the tile action, which is this.
So you can buy a gin. That action is.
So you can buy it, I mean.
I am definitely going to do that.
I've been planning to do that
There's
this
the
turn as
available
well.
gins up there.
So each has different ability. So to buy a gin, it costs you either 2 elders or 1 elder and a slave. So I'm going to spend 2 elders. I'm going to buy. His ability is at the end of the game, every 2 slaves I have count as a wild resource, which will potentially give me victory points or money during the game. So yeah, that's that. Then at this stage, I can then sell any of my resource cards for points. But I am
right. Just quickly, I'll just show. This track here shows for each unique resource you have, they're worth this value. So you can see if you have, say, 2 of a resource or 2 different resources worth 3 gold, up to if you have all 9, they're worth 60 gold, and you can sell it for that if you need it. But you can also cash them in for that at the end of the game. Right, so anyway, that's presumably you're not selling in, so that's into your go. So now it's my go. Right, I'm going to just pass this on, so hang on a second.
Right, so this is Martin's go. Go on, Martin.
No pressure.
I'm just going to point at the board so you can work out your own moves that you're looking at.
Okay, I think I'm simply going to do this.
Oh, for Christ's sakes, that was the move I was going to do.
2. So the way you're so check for control. Obviously, I don't control it. So what I do, you have the amount of blue builders, okay, multiplied by the amount of blue icons. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 icons.
in an adjacent.
Or adjacent. So it's basically those 9 tiles. You look to see if they're blue. So I've got.
Do not include itself.
There's 3 and there's 4. That's 12.
Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah, it includes the.
You got any slaves?
I have, yes. So I've got 2 slaves there. So that actually increases that multiplier. So that's actually 20 points. So, or 20 coins, in fact. So I'll take those 20.
So it's either 20 money to use, or it's 20 victory points at the end of the game.
Okay, let's throw those slaves away. Well done. And then I get to activate the square, so I can spend 3, which is absolutely what I'm going to do.
Let me guess, papyrus?
Yeah, paper.
Or paper? Because I know you got ivory. I know you got,
remember what I've got.
I know you got ivory, and I know you got fish.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you got the little cloth thing next to the slave.
The relevance to that is you get more points for each different picture that you've got.
Yeah, I went through that. But also, these dots represent how many of those copies of cards are in the deck as well. So, obviously, this ivory here, which I hope I have got.
Yeah, you got the last turn.
I'm glad he's paid attention.
That's the only other one in that.
So that's it. Yeah. There we go.
Once that's gone, no
Right.
one can have
So the black pawn can move back, and then it's orange's go, which is the brain burning Mick. Zoom right in there.
Right, well, I'm going to do this. Oh. So I'm going to place a white there. There's none white there on its own. Blue there to make it more even. And then the last one on here. I'll take up the 2 reds,
Nice.
giving me the opportunity of 2 out of the first 6.
First thing that you do is pick him
Check
up
for control.
and check for control. So he now
Which I
controls
did
that
get.
area. So he puts his orange snail camel.
Nice move, Mick.
Yeah.
Damn it!
I also know where he's going to
Then-
assassin.
So do I pay 6 per card or 6
So
for the
first-
No, you
2?
pay
Firstly,
6 to
Mick-
do the ability,
So
but
firstly, you do your tribesman.
So they're going to
So you
shoot
pick up the
someone.
red guys, so you do that first.
So I do 2 assassins.
So he's
No,
got
one,
he's got-
but you can
he's
do
got
2
two red
spaces
guys,
away.
so that determines how far
Distance.
they can assassinate. So from here, you can go
I'm
up
going
to
to
2
go 1,
squares.
2, and kill that one.
okay. So because he emptied that, he gets to control that as well. However, he doesn't get to activate that ability. Okay, so
Look at
it's
the
just
little
control.
orange snail trail down
We'll
there.
see. And then he gets to activate the hex that he can, or the tile, sorry, that he controls. So he can spend 6 coins to draw 2 cards from the 5
Shall we
remainder.
take this one, which has got 2, which I assume is quite
It's paying that 6 then.
Doesn't mean it's more valuable, it just means that
just
they're hard to
quite
get.
rare.
Yeah, there's a large market he's gone to.
That one as well.
Okay.
All right, and that is your turn. So now it's going to go down
Do
to me.
you want to trade in any of yours?
Right, so it's my go, and like that. So I'm going to take from here. I'm going to drop a red one there, a blue one there, a white one in there. So I clear this, get these some elders, chuck my camel down,
That's 3 elders now, nice.
and I get a little Castile,
Village.
little village, and there we go.
So that's worth, just to remind everyone, that's worth 5 additional points for each one of those. So that tile's worth 10 to him. And obviously that's a mandatory action, that. So potentially that could be activated again accidentally or intentionally by someone else if the lie of the land goes that way. So Jason may actually have some more points there. Anyway,
So that's the end of the round. So what we do now is obviously we refresh the merchandise deck and refresh the Jin deck, and then we go again. As you can see, it's a really simple game, but so much thinking. We actually thought about turns as well before this camera started, so we didn't sit and make you watch the whole thing. But
We've been here 3 hours.
this game's supposed to be an hour long. However, I think it's an hour long if you put no thought into your turns.
Yeah, if you just haphazard do things without thinking about it, which we're unable to do in our gaming group.
I think we were making a joke a minute ago. They were saying that, oh, we should film this turn because it's a good turn to do, and we decided not to, and that turn took about 45 minutes.
No. Mick's turn to grab and it culminated in him killing one of my yellow guys as well. After I said, don't kill one on the board, that's silly. I haven't forgotten. Right.
All right, so we'll come back at the end,
Tony, don't
tell
bother
you who
me
won and what we think.
Okay.
All right, so the game has ended. How much did you have? What was it?
94.
94, and you?
114.
14, that's not bad. I got 144, which I think is pretty good. But Martin's got 145.
Holy crap. It was like, look at this one
One
coin. That
coin.
one there did it for me. I don't know who won the
Plus
tiebreaker,
this.
by the way. I can't remember. Yeah, there was some expensive bidding on the last turn. Jason's the blue one, so he paid 12.
That's
for
right,
nothing.
yeah, 12
there was,
for nothing.
There was literally one move.
Yeah, one
could be
move that
done.
could have actually netted.
We finished a whole round, and there was one move that could be done. So basically, we were all voting for that one move. And I thought I spend 8 hoping nobody sees it, and then all of a sudden everyone went, wait there a second, why is he spending money? And looked at it and realised it was quite profitable. So they outbid me, so that wasted my 8. So Jason bid 12, and then Mick went, well, I'm going to spend 18. So I wasted 8, Jason wasted 12, Mick spent 18.
That 12 would have put me to 156 if I just bid at 0.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the most annoying thing, not from my perspective, obviously, because I won, from these two guys, is that Mick's go, he managed to not many points himself,
Only
but
+2.
screw a load of points from D and a load of points from Jason.
Only you actually made 2 points himself.
Yeah, I made 2 points. Oh, well, I
did-
made 4 by getting the yellow 2 points that me and
you
you
didn't.
shared. Yeah, because I didn't count them in the original 2. I spent 20, I got 22, and then I got the 2 that we both got 2, because I had no yellows before I did that.
But how did you get the yellows? Because it was a red turn. Could you use the red guys, which means you could only use...
Oh, right, no, so I was +2, yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, you're right, I was +2. But, yeah, it cost you the 10 points that you would have had from, potentially.
I can't bother to think about it.
Well, as fascinating as this is for the viewers, I'm sure they weren't here. So let's ignore that. So anyway, there we go. That's the game. Incredibly close.
Well, I thought what was interesting about that particular game, I didn't go any merchandise cards. I didn't get any. I only a couple of slaves, but and I still did pretty well. The last game I played at this, I went heavy into this, and I made 139 points in that game. So I thought I'd go differently this game, and I went. Obviously, you can see a stack of palaces, a couple of palm trees, and some gins, and I did just as well. But the yellow ones is where I got a lot of victory points.
The yellow points made a massive difference.
Huge, yeah.
As well.
For information, the yellow ones, you get 1 point for each vizier, the yellow guy, plus 10 for each person you've got strictly more than. So, for example, Jason had 6 over there, and there was 3 other players in the game, so he had more than everyone else. So he actually scored 30 points in addition. I scored 20 points, and then obviously
both of us had
both
2.
Mick
so
and D had
we
2.
didn't
Yeah,
have more than somebody else, so we only got
2 points.
But the most important thing is, I got the Minotaur card.
Or as close hands, the holy cow man.
No, I thought that was a really close game as well. The fact that you beat me by 1 point.
Yeah, that's rough.
Thanks a lot, Mick.
Yay, thanks, Mick.
Made my night.
You came last again as well.
I don't care about the last. It was a last worth having.
Okay, so the people that haven't played it then, Mick, and D, obviously I'll come to you in a second. What did you guys think of it then?
I thought it was good. It got faster once I knew what I was able to do. Got hard to not let anyone benefit from your turn. I think that was the hardest part of it. It was easy to see where you could benefit, but I didn't want to. After the first time, when I allowed, I think Jim,
Absolutely.
There's a lot of thinking going on, isn't it? You think about your turn, you think about other people's stuff.
Yeah. I found quite often that my planned turn had changed by the time it got to me. But nearly every time.
I mean, to be honest, that would be the one and only criticism I have about it, or the main criticism about it is that you can't really plan ahead at all because so much changes before your go. But unless you can have 2 consecutive turns by doing a bid last, bid first thing,
Yeah.
by the time you have your go, the landscape's so utterly changed that you
slows the game
you
up.
can't plan at all. And it really does. It's like it's an AP inducing game anyway, and the fact that you can't plan ahead at all means that you have to sit there and just ponder your go, which is a shame. But that's a minor negative in the grand scheme of things, I think.
Enormous negative. I enjoyed it. There's lots of different things you can do. I don't mind thinking games. You know, I quite like them. So yeah, it was good for me. But a thumbs up.
What about you, D?
Yeah, really good game. Great components. I like how the mechanisms are unbelievably simple, how the game works. So if it comes to it, if anybody actually introduces games to people, this game is really easy to explain how to play. Then it's got a really nice weight to the game because you've got really simple actions, but you've also got enough where you have to think about the consequences of doing something. Even just as simple as I want to go and get this square, so I'm going to pick up these 3 guys. You've got to think about which ones you're dropping off from which zone because you don't want them to be too appetising for someone else. So
Do you think it would work well as a gateway game then to sort of non-gamers or?
Yeah, I think it would be a really good gateway game because the rules are unbelievably simple.
Yeah.
And so many different ways to win.
Such a
victory
thinky
points.
game for such a simple rule set.
Yeah.
You don't have to stick to one tactic, as Jason's proved. He nearly won the game again by going completely opposite to what he did before. Normally, a lot of games, you can't go completely opposite to what you did before.
Absolutely. But the important thing is he didn't win.
You know,
But yeah, overall, I think it's a great game. And I think I'm quite possibly going to go and buy it quite soon.
I agree. I think it's worthy of the buzz that it's getting. People were saying it was the game of Gen Con, or certainly one of them, and I think rightly so. It's really simple. It's like nothing really I've played before. I can't really think of anything that similar to it. And,
Normally when I review a game, I try and relate it back to another game and just say it's got elements of this, but I think it's got its own class of game. You can't really say it's like this, it's like that. It is its own game. I wouldn't mind seeing other games sort of follow this type of mould. And
I've got to say, Bruno Cathala as well, the designer, he does a lot of great games as well, really good games. Pretty much anything he touches is golden, so good on him. So there we go. What do we think? Verdict?
Oh man, I think this is a great game. I definitely give this a thumbs up. Everything about it is great. Components are good. The gameplay is great. So simple, like Dee said, to teach other people and to play, but oh my god, you have to make a lot of decisions. And to me, a good game is a game that gives you decisions to make, not sets you in a motion and you just go through the motions. You make decisions that influence the whole game. I made a decision to pay 12, which basically lost me the game because I was greedy, and I love that. It's great.
But the other thing is, as well, it's one of those that you kind of think about afterwards and go, oh man, if I'd have done that, that might have influenced things and changed things.
And the fact you can affect someone else's turn without having to actually be aggressive against them.
Yeah, interaction is good as well. I mean, I think this is out of the park. Definitely one of the best games I've played this year.
I just want to ask very quick, I know we're in the middle of doing verdicts, but for both of you two guys, in terms of this is your second game, and obviously we've only played one game, so that's our first initial thoughts. As a second game, how does it feel replayability?
Fine, absolutely fine. Yeah, so much is, in fact, I wouldn't really say that this game of it was similar at all to the last one in any way.
Same for me. I mean, I didn't even buy any gins the last game.
Normally, I mean, gins actually played a much bigger part this time, whereas I think one or two got bought last time, didn't they? And that was it. I don't think we saw many revolutions through the deck or anything, so yeah, absolutely fine in terms of replayability. I give it a thumbs up as well. I think it's very good. Like Dee said, I think it would probably work as a fairly good gateway game. I don't believe him. Really good. Bruno Cathala's 5 Tribes. That's I would say that's 4 thumbs up there. Glowing praise. We all really like it. So
go out and buy it.
Yeah.